Hello everyone, welcome to the BeBright session classes. This is the continuation of the last class of the Azure Monitor, and in the last class we talk about availability test, right? That is one of the feature in the monitor that if you go inside, right, application inside for your applications, then you find sort of availability test features purpose. Now in this class we will talk about more features about Azure Monitor. When we say more features, then if you scroll down in the Azure Monitor, there is option called settings, and there are feature called data collection rules. So this data collection rules, as the name suggests, it's something which you create for data collection, right? In the data collection rules, how we set up all those data collection rules, what are the data sources we can choose, what are the destination, what are the resources. So we will talk about one by one all those stuff. For this particular data collection rules, we will take help of Azure VM. And by using the Azure VM, we will fetch some sort of analytics from there, and we will show how we can utilize data collection rules on top of that. Now, to continue further, one Azure VM require for that, and that is something we have already created. If I click on one of the resource group which I have created, RG Monitor Demo, and as you can see, one VM I have created which is called VM Monitor Demo, which is having one public IP and on top of one virtual network. So we don't need to go in depth of public IP or like network settings, because that could be anything, right? Now this VM is running, as you can see, and having one public IP as I showed you. All right, now just to collect the information, like if I click on monitoring, right, for Azure VM, some of the default settings run what Azure provides you. If you scroll down, you will find the availability, the CPU percentage, the disk byte, what exactly it's fetching, right? And if you can click on see all metrics, you will get more and more metrics to fetch on, like data disk read, or maybe memory or CPU. So as you know, it was coming regarding CPU, so percentage CPU. If you click on average or the max one, this is something by default what Azure provides you within a VM. Now, apart from that, if you want to fetch more information and more customized information, how you can do that with the DCR, that we will understand. So let's quickly go on the home, and first for DCR, the basic thing what it requires is the log analytics workspace, because log analytics workspace work as a data store for all those information whatever we will collect from different services or different analytics, or I should say what it will collect from Azure VM. So type log analytics workspace, click on create, choose our own resource group, RG Monitor Demo. Now click on name and give a name, LA log analytics Monitor Demo, keep region West US 2, then click review plus create and create. Okay, meanwhile this log analytic workspace is getting created, just quickly go on home, click on monitor, and now we will see the use of data collection rule. So Let's quickly create one data collection rule. Now in the rule name, you have to give a name like DCR. You can give test or monitor 001. The subscription we will choose pay as you go. Resource group, keep it same. Region, let's keep it West US 2. Platform type, definitely Windows. Now, it's asking for data collection endpoint. Do we have? So far, we don't have data collection endpoint. But we will see in this video later on that why we need data collection endpoint. For now, I can tell you that if any Azure service which is outside of your subscription or coming through private endpoint, right? Maybe it could be in different environment, maybe it could be in different subscription or maybe somewhere else and coming through private endpoint, right? For those endpoints you require data collection endpoint. But that's not mandatory, right? If you need data collection endpoint within this subscription, within virtual network, you can do that as well. But for now, we will leave it blank. Click on resource. We can click on add resource, create endpoint, but we will leave that as well. Now it's asking this data collection rule doesn't have any data source or destination selected. Now click on add data source as there is no data source point. So add data source. Now in the data source, you can see there are a lot of things what you can fetch from VM. There are performance counters, there are Windows events log. You must be aware that whatever event log generated in Windows, IIS logs, custom text logs. So we will understand couple of them. Like custom text logs, we can see how it works, or maybe performance counter or all those. So let's start with performance counters. Now what is performance counter? Performance counters are basically the normal analytics given by Azure for a particular VM, like CPU, memory, disk, and network. Let me tell you one thing. These are the group, right? These are the logical group of different small performance counter. Now, what are those performance counter for which it's making a group? So to understand that, you can click on custom. And now you will find all those performance counters basically which are linked with those. You can see there are number of pages here. And all those are linked with memory, logical disk, that means disk. And you can click on, go on and on. These are network interface. So when you click on basic, see network, it covered all the network interfaces part. It covered all the disk part, memory, CPU, right? Let me tell you one more time. Now here you will find as a processor, right? So all those counters which starting with processor comes under CPU. So if you want to fetch what is the percentage CPU time, percentage privilege time, percentage user time, processor frequency, thread count, handle count, so all those comes under CPU. Now if you go back and click on memory, right? So this memory, that means if you come custom and click on next page, see these all comes under memory. What is available bytes, that means whatever memory is running on, committed bytes on. We will understand all those performance counter. So what Azure says, either you can choose specific one, whichever you require in terms of memory, because you have to remember that whatever counters you choose, those sort of information goes and save into log analytics workspace, and whatever information save into log analytics workspace, that that is having a cost, right? So if you save more information, you have to pay extra cost for that. So sometimes it is very necessary that you choose specific counters, whatever you require to save into log analytics workspace. For this demo, let's keep everything so that we can understand. So instead of choosing from here, we go and click basic and we choose all CPU, memory, disk, and network. Now click on destination, click add destination, click on Azure Monitor Logs, click pay as you go, and now choose your log analytics workspace which you created, LA Monitor Demo. Now click on add data source. Now your performance counters with Azure Monitor Logs, it's visible here. Now click on review plus create. Okay, validation is passed. Click on create. Okay, so data collection rule is created. Now click on go to resource. Now if you come over here, so you can see DCR monitor 001, or if you click on monitor and come into setting, click on data collection rule, you will find the same data collection rule over here, DCR monitor 001. Now if you click on DC monitor 001, click on data sources, click on performance counters. So these are the same settings which you saved, right? And remember the sample rate as well. So it's in seconds. So that means in every 60 seconds, that means it's in every 1 minute, it's fetching these data from VM, right? And click on resources. So far, you haven't selected the resource. So for resource, you can click on add. Right. So there could be multiple resources. For now, we are just choosing one, that is our monitor, VM monitor demo. Click on apply. Right. So that's selected. Now click refresh to see here. Okay. After clicking multiple times, it's visible here, VM monitor demo. Now we have to wait for 1 minute and then we will see the data what this DCR collects from this VM. Okay, so we have waited a couple of minutes and now we open log analytics workspace which we have created here. Now you can click on tables and you can see there will be one add-on table which is called perf. Perf, that means performance counters. Now just to view the data, you can click on logs and click on tables, click on log management. Now you will see the perf. Why this table is only here? Because whatever table will have the data, right, will be visible here only. Now if you click on perf, what it will do, it will execute in the background and it will show you the result. Now these are the performance counters, right, which coming directly from that VM. You can see the VM name, VM monitor demo, logical disk, process. These are the counter names. Remember I was showing you that different counter names in the custom, and there are further detail that instance name is underscore total, counter value and counter path, so on and so on. There are a lot of values, but this is in simple mode. Let's click on KQL mode, that is Gusto query language. Try to write some of the queries to just find further things. For example, if we go where object name, so object name, that means these, and contains processor, burst filter it out this much. Okay, so all the CPU information is here. Now let's filter further. So go for counter name, contains, and copy this. Now what exactly it is? So if we run that, now what it will fetch, that in every 1 minute sort of time, right, what exactly percentage is going on. So that means there is 20%, 18%, 17% of the CPU running on right now. Just to get a specific information, let's see the max counter value by in every 5 minutes. So what it will do, it will create a collection of 5-minute time generated data, and therefrom it will find the max counter value for percentage time, and we will treat that as a CPU percentage. Okay, so let's take that, and as well as the computer name. So let's try to run this. Now we will find a couple of values because we don't have much data so far, but if you run this same query after 1 hour or 2 hours, you will find lot of different values. Now what it says that in every 5 minutes, what was the maximum CPU value? So it's coming here 20, it's coming here 20 again, right? Now what we can do further, we can quickly type render, and there are a lot of chart what you can create, right? Area chart, bar chart, column chart, pie chart. For this CPU value, let's stick on area chart and let's run that. Okay, so CPU percentage is stable, so it's coming as 20. But sometimes if it is, there are a lot of work going on, application things and a lot of other stuff, maybe it can vary, which you will find right in your example maybe. Okay, now further on, if this is your critical server, maybe your production server, which is very important to see CPU percentage and everything, every minute or maybe whole day you want to see what's going on with the CPU percentage. So rather than coming every time over here in the log analytic workspace, writing all this query and then check, or maybe just going directly into the VM, what best we can do, we can save this query as a dashboard, right? So if you click on the save, there is an option called pin to Azure dashboard. If you click on pin to Azure dashboard, there is an option if you have existing or want to create new one. So we don't have any new existing one. So let's click on create new one. You want to keep it to yourself or you want to share with other. So let's keep it shared. Dashboard name, VM Analytics, subscription pay as you go, publish to dashboard resource group, and we want to keep on the same resource group where we have the other structure. Now create and pin, wait for a couple of seconds. Yeah, so that's it done. Now quickly open another tab. Now click on burger menu. There is an option called dashboard. If you click over here, this is the default page which is coming. Now if you click on this, you will find your dashboard name which you recently created, VM Analytics. If you click on that, wait for a couple of seconds. Alright, now you can see, meanwhile, the bar has changed. Now the value of that CPU is getting increased. So just to change the name, you can click on title, give a name, VM, CPU percentage, every 5 minutes as per our query. Click update. Now you can see it's showing here. Let's click on save. And this is save, and it's coming over here. Now to further add on, if you want, you can see the query. Click here and you will see the query what you have used. It's coming in simple mode again. Okay, try to click on KQL mode. Alright, in KQL mode it's showing your query which you use to create this chart. Now quickly close this. And if you want, you can maybe increase this. If you want to keep it like this or like this, whatever you want, you can change your title. So let's keep it as it is, or cancel it. Let's keep it whatever it is coming as default. All right, so it's keep getting changes. We will leave it as it is. Now quickly jump back on our analytics workspace. So this was about CPU. Now let's create one more query. Let's check the memory, because that's another crucial part of that. So let's change couple of stuff like memory, and in contains, let's say available bytes, and let's keep it as it is, everything for the time being. Remove the render one, run that. All right, so in every 5 minutes the CPU, oh my bad, let's change that as well. Keep that as available memory. Now you have to remember that it's in bytes, right? Normally you have your memory in GBs, like having 4 GB RAM or having 16 GB. So based on that, it shows. Okay. Now again, make this result as render. Let's create this time the time chart. Click run. All right, so as you can see in the chart, on a specific time, what was the value? Like it was little bit, available bytes was little high, but slowly as per the time progress, the available bytes is getting down. And we will match with our VM as well. But before that, let's save this or pin to Azure dashboard. So let's keep the same one. Now this time we will choose existing, and our dashboard is shared one. Same VM analytics. Click on pin. Now wait for a couple of seconds. Okay, now it's pinning succeeded. Click on VM analytics. Let's refresh this page, or maybe you can refresh from here. Now as soon as you refresh, now you can see there are two charts, but it's top and bottom. Let's 1 second. Let me click on add it. Let me move this chart on top of that. So here, right? Now click on save. Let's update the title as well. Again, in every 5 minutes. Update that. Now quickly jump back to our log analytics workspace. Now see one more stuff which was related to your disk. Now if you see disk, and let's suppose contains that free. Okay, so here we are seeing logical disk. That means the disk what we have on the VM, and you can see the counter name is percentage free space or free megabytes. So let's suppose you can make alert that if percentage free space is less than 40 or less than 30, then you will get an alert. Or maybe you can create the same for free megabytes. That means whatever space is left in that disk. Okay. Now again, remember this is megabyte. That means this is an MB. You have to convert in GB just for verification. Okay, let's quickly again create one more chart, and then I'll compare all those stuff one by one. Now again summarize, and this time green paste, max counter value by either a 5 minute, you can just 15 minute, or a 1D, that means in a day you want to check, whatever you want to do that. Okay, and now if you click on run, now it will show you that in every 5 minutes what was the max value over here of the free space. Again same thing, you can just go render, and let's suppose this time you choose a bar chart, click on run. Okay, because all the values are almost same, so bar is coming almost same, but as if space will decrease, these bar will vary, or if you clean up something, then again this bar will vary. But for now, just click on save, click on pane to Azure dashboard, choose shared one, VMLTix, and click pin. Now pinning is in progress. Now you can go here on your dashboard, click on refresh. Okay, one more chart is here, click on add it. Let's move this chart as well here, and try to adjust on a single window, because right now I can see that there is a bottom scroll bar is coming, so want to adjust here. Now it's almost adjust, click on save. Okay, so those scroll bar is still coming, but I can see the complete picture in one page. Now let's click on the title, update this one as well, VM logical disk percentage free space, again every 5 minutes. Click update. Now you can see 1 minute. Let's click on save first, and now meanwhile you can see this is your VM name. There could be multiple VMs, so for that there could be different chart coming on a single graph within a different color, and you can see all those information regarding CPU percentage, memory available bytes, or logical disk percentage free space in a single dashboard. Quickly jump on the login text workspace, and click on logs. Let's try to run the last query. So just close this, and last query was regarding this. Click on run, go into KQL mode. Now instead of showing all summarized one, let me quickly remove that as well. So run. Even though I can just keep it free so that I can see all the counter which having free. Okay, so I have two counter. One is percent free space, 3 megabytes, as I was telling you earlier. Now, why I am showing you here that percentage free space is approx 90%. Now, as you can see in your VM, if you open a drive, and this is the total value. Okay, And now how it calculates, so if you open a Kelsey in the VM or outside of the VM, the total space is 126 GB plus 8 GB. That means 134, right? And free is 114, and let's suppose this is 7, so 121. So 121 divided by 134, the 9298, and that's the sort of value it's give 90%. And when you go for free megabytes, 125174, if you calculate that as well, let's remove that 174, right? Let's convert it into GB. It's become 122 GB, and that is what I was telling you, that 114, right? And 8 GB, 7 GB here, so approx 121, but yeah, it's showing you 122, almost, right? Almost same. But the problem what we are looking right now is that it's telling you the combined free space or combined free megabytes. As I told you that if we have two drives, C drive and D drive, it's telling you the combined value. Now what if we have other drives, maybe E drive, F drive, and we want to see the free space in those drives? If we will get the combined value, then it would be difficult to identify if any particular drive is filled, right? So it doesn't tell you that what specific drive is free, or how much space is left in a specific drive. And to identify that, what we can do, there is a stuff what we can do. Quickly click on home, jump into our DCR, that is a data collection tool, click on data source, click on performance counters, and these are the basic one which you have added. And as I told you earlier, that these are the counters, actual counters, which are basically getting fetched from that VM, right? And now if you just quickly go on maybe third page, yeah, so these are the logical disk, but you can see in bracket underscore total. That means whatever disk you have, you are getting the total value of percentage disk time or free bytes or whatever it coming in a total. Now for that, there is one performance counter which I got from Microsoft document, which you can type here, and there is a button called add. Now you can click on add. Now it is added. You can just select and click on save. So your custom performance counter is also added over here, right? And now just to verify, click on that, click on custom, just type again, and you can see it's coming over. And remember, see, this is the asterisk sign which is coming here. That means that it's not going for total, it's going for all the disk whatever is attached with that VM. Okay, so now we have saved. Again, we have to wait for a couple of minutes because it's newly added counter, just to fetch value of this counter. All right, so let's jump on that log workspace just to check if we received anything. Click on log analytics workspace, click on logs, then let's run the last query. All right, now can you see that? So Now it's giving individual values of drives, T drive, D drive, right, and total as well. So if you need, you can just click on KQ mode and check the specific drive, and you can add one more filter here, instance name. All right, now let's run that. Okay, and the same thing, you can summarize and make the query. Now you can create the alert for a specific drive if you need. Let's suppose in D drive or C drive, you're having any drive using for data backup and you want to check for that specific drive if there is less space. So you can do that as well. You can create the alert for that. All right. So that was related to the performance counter. Now quickly jump back to O and click on data collection rule. Now we will talk about one more data source. So click on add and data source, and there is one more data source called custom text log or custom JSON logs. These two are very useful whenever you're running any application in your VM, as that application may be created in .NET, Java, Python, and you are saving logs in a specific folder. So just to consume those logs, right? Maybe you are saving in text file or JSON file, and you want to create alert for those logs. Let's suppose any critical error you are logging in, or maybe any warning or any error, any sort of thing you are saving in the text file, and on top of that you want to generate the alert, or you want to showcase those specific errors in a specific dashboard which you already created that. So how to do that? Let's learn in that. So just to save all these and just to fetch all these, first we require a specific customized table in log analytics workspace. So we have this open, click on tables. So these are the pre-built tables in a specific log analytics workspace whenever you click on that, or it's automatically created whenever you collect the different sort of analytics. But if required, you can create your own table as well, a customized table. For that, you can click create, click on new custom log, give it a name. For example, app log data. And you can see there is one suffix which is getting automatically added, which is _CL, right? Customized log. And then you require data collection rule and data collection point. But here, data collection rule you can create as a new, but there is no option to create the data collection endpoint. So let's create that first. Quickly jump on monitor and come to the data collection endpoints. You remember I told you the data collection endpoint specifically to fetch the data from those resources which are coming through private endpoint, right? Maybe those resources are in different subscription or different environment, and you are fetching those data through private endpoint. So let's create the data collection endpoints. Give it a name, data collection endpoint, test 001, subscription, resource group, RG monitor demo. choose the region West US 2, click review plus create, and click create. So data collection endpoints is created. Let's click refresh. Alright, so data collection endpoint has been created. Now if you click on that, click on resources. Now click on add. There you can add one of the resource in data collection endpoint and click apply. So now one resource has been added in data collection endpoint. You can add multiple if you have. Let's click refresh to just verify that. Resource is there in data collection endpoint. Close. Close. Alright, now let's try to create the table which we were trying earlier. So it will not reflect here until unless we will not refresh. So let's just close and try to create again. Again, give a name. And now let's create a new data collection. So that is needed because it has to associate with any of the data collection rule if you are creating any customized table. So just give it a name, whatever we choose earlier, like DC monitor 001. So it says this already created. So let's choose 002. Click done. And choose the data collection endpoint which you recently created. Now when you click next, it's asking for a specific schema. Now remember, whenever you create a custom log table, Azure services provide specific schema of that particular table, but you can add your own customized schema as well. For now, I have created one JSON file. Let me showcase. Alright, as you can see, I have created one sample_schema.json. Now, as you can see, I have added a couple of columns over here. One is time generated, computer, file path, and raw data. Now, let me showcase why I have added all these. So, alright, I have opened one Microsoft document which says collect text file from virtual machine with Azure Monitor. And if you scroll down, it's telling how to utilize that. But if you keep scrolling down, right, it says create custom table. Now in that, it tells you that couple of columns you can add from your side: time generated, computer, file path, raw data, right? So I have added all those and created one JSON file, as you can see over here. Now, I can drag and drop that file in this particular place. So, as soon as I drop that file over here, I can see all those column name and one sample data row is visible here. I click next and click create. It will take a couple of seconds. And that customized table is created. App data low_CL. Just to see the schema, you can just click on three dots, click on edit schema. Now, some of the columns you see what Azure created by itself, and couple of columns what we choose as a customized one, like computer, file path, raw data, and time generated. Alright, click cancel, click home. Now, just to utilize that customized table, either you can create a new data collection rule, or you can utilize the data collection rule which you created for that customized table, which is DCR monitor 002. Now, if you click on data sources, you will find one data source which you created, app data log. It's already associated with that, right? But you can click on add and you can create according to the custom text logs. Now, in custom text log, you have to put a file pattern. Now, what is file pattern? For example, in your VM, any application is running in any of the drive, either C, D, E, F, whatever drive you have, and there you are saving a log file. So for an example, this is the inetpub for IS folder. Let's suppose you are running an application over here and you created a folder called logs, and there is a log file you are saving. For an example, let me take one log file and paste it over here. So just for testing purpose, I created one log file and pasted over here. Alright, I can open it and you can see some of the logs over here. Maybe this log could have multiple data or multiple columns, but as you can see, every log is in separate line and having a date time as well. Now, let's do one more thing. Just add one more entry so that alright, so the date modified is coming as today's date. So we just added one entry to showcase that it's latest log file, right? Now take this path, paste it into file pattern. Either you can hard-code it the file name, or if your logging is based on rolling pattern, that means every day it's create a new log file, then it would be difficult to give a hard-coded name. In that case, just take star.txt. That means any extension, any log file which is having extension of text. Now, table name, app data log underscore CL. As you can see over here, app data log underscore CL. Now, record delimiter. How you want to read that text file? As I told you, remember the delimiter for separating the line, either it could be the end of line or any particular stuff. In most of the cases, it would be date time. So just click on record delimiter, choose timestamp or end of line, and then timestamp format could be ISO or any of the desired format. Let's keep it as it is. Transform as source, it's just a name. So KQL single line query that transform a text or JSON record into multiple columns, right? Then click on destination, click on add destination, choose monitor logs, subscription, and log analytics workspace. Click on add data source. And then the custom text logs is here. Click on the source. Now click on add. You can choose your VM and click on apply. Now as soon as you choose the VM, it's automatically detect Alright, so as soon as you choose the VM, it's automatically detect that this VM is associated with any data collection endpoint. So it shows over here. Now this data collection rule is ready to fetch that logs using that data source, custom text logs. Okay, now let's wait for a couple of minutes so that this data collection rule can work. And after that, let's check the log table. Okay, so after waiting 10 to 15 minutes, when we come back on the monitor, click on data collection rule. One change which I did, just want to tell you that I click on configure DCE and choose the data collection endpoints, right? Sometimes this could be a problem that the data collection endpoint is not configured. Could be the reason that your logs are not patched, right, in that particular table, or you don't have the latest log data in this text file. So just to avoid that sort of things, I added even one more entry, as you can see in this text file. Earlier I added this entry, but after that I added this entry also. Now after doing all those stuff, if I come to the log analytics table, click on logs, click on table, and as you can see, it's showing custom logs. Now if you click on that, there is a table which you created, app data log underscore CL. Now you can click on run. Alright, now as you can see, it's showing some data. Now it shows computer is your computer, where from it's fetching the data, file path, your log file which it's getting read, and then raw data. Now try to identify this raw data, which is 10, 195, 77, 133, and in the end it's also having 303. So if you open your text file and go into the bottom, see the last one is 303, 133. So that means it's reading all the latest values, and after that whatever values you will create, it will read all those values. For example, let's create 4-5 lines. After that, change the date, change the value. These are all random values, just to make this text file as a latest log file. You can do whatever changes you want. It's all arbitrary values. Just save it. So now it's having some more data. Minimize it. All right, so after updating the data, again we waited for a couple of minutes, and when we click on refresh results, now as you can see, it's showing more latest data. And now just to verify that, you can see the values in the end: 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. These all are latest values. That means whatever data you are putting into that log file or maybe another log file, that is fetched by this DCR, the latest DCR, the data collection rule which you created for custom text file. All right. Now it's up to you if you want to use this particular data, right, to create some sort of dashboard results. As you remember, we created some dashboard by clicking on Save, Pin to Azure Dashboard. So if you want to showcase some of the data, specific data, by creating KQL query, you can do that. Or if you want, you can just click on three dots, click on New Alert Rule, and create any alert rule based on this KQL query, what you create based on this data. Alright guys, so in this video, we learned a couple of stuff from the Azure Monitor. First, the data collection rule. Another is data collection endpoint. In the data collection rule, there are a couple of data sources as I showed you. If you click on data sources and click on add, one, we talked about performance counters. Another is custom text log, right? Same as you can choose for Windows event log, IIS log, firewall logs, whatever you want, right? And choose your destination accordingly. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Next video, we will learn more about Azure Monitor. Till then, thank you so much.